This is a Frenzy Barb guide. Basically, when I started Diablo 2 Resurrected, I made a Frenzy Barb. I made it pretty standard. Dual Grief, Fortitude, Golems, Gore Rider, the usual. I didn't enjoy it. I found it to be underperforming. There were certain places where it just wasn't having the impact that I needed. I wasn't killing as fast as I needed. I just wasn't having fun with it. So I dropped it. I made a Dream Paladin. I enjoyed that. I got that to 99. I made a Frenzy Druid, Fury Druid. I enjoyed that as well. So I do like physical characters. And when I went back to the Barb again, I just still felt bad. So I decided, fuck it, I must be doing something wrong. So I scoured the internet, tried to figure out what was going on, and everything was basically the same cookie cutter build. And I didn't understand why everyone was playing the same thing and why it just wasn't feeling right for me. Maybe I just didn't like the class. Until I encountered an obscure Reddit post made by a guy named Good Grief 2. There's a bit of irony in that name, and I'll tell you why, and I'll show you why in a moment. But basically, that guy had a pretty good plan. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it, and I'll make it, and I'll turn it into a YouTube video, because that was 6 years ago, and I had to search high and low for that. And honestly, thank you, Good Grief 2, you revolutionized Frenzy Barb for me. I enjoy it now, thanks to you. So, here we go. Items. Everything special about this build comes from its items. The items are very different from normal, and I know you're looking there and you see 2 phase blades and you're like, oh well, he's dual grief. No, I'm not. The first item is a grief, but that is because this is your killing weapon. Every item that this is very specific for this build, okay? The grief is your killing weapon. It's not a very good roll. I've got a 369 roll there, 35% increased attack speed. This could be a lot better, but I'm a solo self-found offline player, so this is something anyone can build. It'll take a little bit of grinding, but you can build it. There is one really expensive piece of equipment on this character, and I'll show it later when I get to the merc, but basically you want a grief. That's your killing weapon. Ariet's face. Every single stat on this helm is important. We want all of it. We want the enhanced, the fast hit recovery. We want the enhanced attack speed bonus that you get on the helmet. And the life steal is actually very impactful. We don't use Drax, so we don't proc life tap, which means we have to get all of our sustain from life leech. So having it on a helmet is very good. It gives us a third option for lifesteal. So I put one of the new jewels in there, the stone jewel, and that increased the damage even further. It gave me some magic finds, some gold finds, some increased experience. The resist, stats, everything. Everything on this is perfect. Okay? Every single stat on this is perfect. High Lords, pretty standard. Every melee character basically uses a High Lords. Deadly Strike, increased attack speed. The one to skills is cute. Not really necessary, but very, very good item. Lawbringer. That blew you away. I bet you weren't expecting that. You were expecting another grief. No, we use a Lawbringer. We need Decrepify. You can get, there's a Dreadfang variant, which I think actually might outperform the Lawbringer variant in certain places. But basically, Lawbringer is for your Decrep procs. We cannot rely on the Reaper's Toll on the Mercenary. He's too far away. You're running its hyper speed, you're killing too fast. You have to have your own source of Decrepify or amp damage, so we use Lawbringer. The Sanctuary Aura is actually really impactful as well. That level 18 Sanctuary Aura is giving you like 800% damage to undead, and it removes all physical immunities from undead. Undead are just normal mobs, like super squishy normal mobs. Even if it's a physical immune, the hardest physical immune undead, it's just normal. You just blow them up. The Slain Monsters Rest in Peace is also not that impactful. You'd think that it would affect your hawking all the time. No. You can berserk your special mobs. That's what I do. And even if you weren't going to do that, Lawbringer doesn't bring any enhanced weapon damage, so this is just a straight up 31 to 35 weapon damage sword. All of your killing damage is coming from your grief. So, if you want to, you berserk specials, or you just keep chopping and hawk afterwards. Treachery. Why not fortitude? Fortitude is adding a lot of enhanced damage. It's also giving you resistances. Why won't we use fortitude instead? Fortitude, all of that enhanced damage, isn't as impactful as you think it is. Our Barb is going to end up with about 1,400 to 1,600 enhanced modifier to our damage. You do not need that extra percent. It's not as impactful as it seems. Treachery, on the other hand, is giving you 15% damage reduction with the Fade proc. It's giving you way overcapped on resistances, so when you get hit by conviction or low resist, you just shrug that off. You also get a reduced duration on your curses that are on you. It's fantastic. The enhanced attack speed as well, with our other enhanced attack speed items, basically means that even under the Cripify and even under a cold aura, you're still attacking at the max frames. You're just going chop, chop, chop. This is a very, very important item. You want treachery. Another weird item. You weren't expecting this. I bet you were expecting a Gore Rider. Well, let's compare it, shall we? Like I said, every item in this setup is very well thought out. And if we compare, we've got Deadly, Crushing Blow, and Open Wounds on a Gore Rider. These are your quintessential must-haves on any physical character. Almost all physical characters will run a Gore Rider. We do not. We do not care about the Deadly Strike because with our Mastery and our Amulet, and our Grief actually, now that I think about it, the Grief I think has 20%. 20%. We're already sitting on 70% increased Deadly Strike. We do not need that Deadly Strike. That 15% is worthless. Chance of Open Wounds, worthless. Crushing Blow is important if you're fighting a boss, but we have amp damage. In this case, Decrepify. If you were using the Dreadfang variant, you'd have amp damage. We don't give a damn about Crushing Blow. It's irrelevant to us. So, War Travelers, on the other hand, gives us stats. So that's strength, vitality. It's giving us MF, very important because we want some MF somewhere. And we've got it that adds damage there, that 15 to 25 damage. With our massive damage multiplier, that is actually really impactful. We want War Travelers. Next up, String of Ears. String of Ears, more important than your Verdungos or Titans variants. Not Titans, sorry. Gods, Thunder God's Vigor. We want String of Ears instead of those two, because we want the lifesteal. I told you before, we don't use Drax for life tap. So, lifesteal on your String of Ears, lifesteal on your ring, lifesteal on your helmet. That's going to sustain you. Right, so lifesteal, damage reduction. This plus the Fade puts us at 30% damage reduction. Very, very, very impactful. Next up, the ring. So this is where you have to basically have your mana steal. This is your one item where you can get mana steal. So dual leech, you want a dual leech ring because, like I said, we want the life steal. That's how we sustain ourselves. So dual leech, ideally with some attack rating, strength, dex. You can get resists. I've got resists on this one. It's not really that important, but basically dual leech, attack rating, strength, dex, that's what you're looking for. Life, that's cute. All of that stuff is cute. But this is where you get your mana steal. Now, if you're using the Dreadfang variant instead of the Lawbringer, you can switch this ring out to the most ideal would be like a blood ring with a super high life steal on it. But basically, that's what this is. Ravenfrost, pretty standard. This is where we get our Canopy Frozen modifier. The attack rating, the dex, very important. We want that. A lot of our attack rating is actually going to be coming from this ring. This is really, really impactful. We want this. and Laying of Hands. There is a different one we can get. We can get Stone, I think it's called Stone Crusher, which is basically just another damage modifier. Sorry. I prefer Laying of Hands because of the attack speed and the resist. Again, the resist isn't as important as you think it is because we have Treachery, but this is going to overcap us. We want to be safe from any Conviction or Decrypify shenanigans. So that's your items. The main parts are the Lawbringer and the Treachery. Those are the main parts. But everything here works together to make this build work. We need basically all of these items. Righto. Next up, Annie, Torch, pretty standard. And your best in slot charm is this. We want attack damage, attack rating, and MF. These are your best charms. So if you can stack out your full inventory of these, do it. I am, like I said, solo self-found, so I can't obviously do that. I am not lucky enough for that. So what we do is we can get things like this. Attack rating strength, max damage, attack rating life, just straight up MF. I've got a Geeds here. You know, pretty cool, pretty useful. You don't need any charms like this. This is poison resist on it, but basically I only have it for the MF, so poison resist MF, you can, but you don't need those. This is what you want. You want good luck charms. Anyway, so that's all your charms. And note, I also have two rows open here. That's because I like I just like to pick up things and keep going. I don't like to fuss and fiddle with the cube if I don't have to. Oh, I've got a weapon in here. There we go. I prefer to have the space open, but again, there's even room for extra damage if you wanted it. Now, that's all the items. Let's go to the merc. Oops, sorry, the merc. Right. So, the merc is basically a stat stick. The entire merc is a stat stick. We don't use him for his own damage. This guy is never going to be able to actually engage with anything because you are moving so damn fast as a frenzy merc. Now he does hit the 5 frames because I've got a man catcher and I've got a 15 increased attack speed Andes. So he does hit the 5 frames on the jabs, but again, it's just enough to keep him alive if he does engage anything. Basically, this we only use him for his auras. That's the only impact he can have on us. Reaper's Toll will not work. This guy cannot impact you at all with Reaper's Toll because he actually needs to reach the target to hit it. He's not going to be able to most of the time. So, Pride is your best in slot. We want that for the concentration aura. That's 300 and something increased enhanced damage. Very big. Then we've got the Might, another 240% increase in enhanced damage. Very big. Those two are combining. Then we've got a Duriel Shell. We want cannot be frozen somewhere, so that if he does get slowed somewhere, so he can't get slowed, so he can at least try to keep the auras on us. But he himself doesn't need anything like a Fortitude or a Chains of Honor or anything like that. He wants a Duriel Shell, or basically something that, now that I think about it, I don't think there is any other armor that doesn't have cannot be frozen. Yeah, anyway, so Duriel Shell, you can see I don't even have a socket in this, but basically you want cannot be frozen here. He does like no damage, so having something like a Fortitude even isn't going to make that much of a difference anyway, because man catches with Pride. Pride doesn't have any enhanced damage modifiers, so this isn't. It's going to do nothing anyway. Even with the Fortitude, you're going to bump it up by maybe to 3k damage. It's whatever. It's irrelevant. Right, so that's our gear and our merc. Let's do, actually wait, before we get to skills, let's do stats, because stats are actually quite important on the Barb as well. It's not your usual cookie cutter stuff. Now, generally speaking, everybody always says, get enough strength for your gear, enough dex for your max block or whatever, and then pump the rest into vitality. No, that's not a trap, but it's not the way you should be playing a Barb. So a lot of people don't understand that strength is actually also a damage modifier. It's not just to wear your gear, and for melee characters this can actually be quite impactful. Now, you'll notice I've got a crap load in my strength. I'm sitting at 291. This is nuts strength, okay? I also have a lot of vitality, and I've got a bunch of dexterity. But we only put enough dexterity in so that we're able to use our phase blades. So it's 136 dexterity. We get 10 extra dex from the Lawbringer, but basically you want 136 dexterity. So 136 dexterity. I only have to put. I've got 65 points in there. All of my other, I'm getting 20 from my ring. I'm getting some from my Hellfire Torch, my Anilus. Very easy to get because we want to get about 10 to 12k on our frenzy. We don't want less than that. You can go a little bit less, but I would advise against it. And you can get more, but it's not going to be noticeable. It's not going to be impactful. So 10 to 12k into your attack rating. So if you need more dexterity, pump some in, but you shouldn't have to. Like you see, I've got these charms here. These charms, with all of our modifiers, it's giving massive attack rating. Anyway, so dexterity only up to your phase blades, up to 10k attack rating. Then vitality up to 3k HP with battle orders. Now I know that sounds weird. Why not put as much into your vitality as possible? This is because your life, you are not going to experience on any character that you play. You will never need more than 3k HP. It's really easy to get 4k or 5k on a Barb. You don't need it. That does not help you. It does, you could. The argument is that you would live if there would be less chance of you dying, but you're not gonna ever die on this guy. It's very, very hard to die in this guy. You've got 30% damage reduction, physical damage reduction. You've got capped out resistances. Even under conviction, you're going to probably be capped out as well. This, you don't need more than 3k HP. And with battle orders, with our maxed out battle orders, I'll just show you quickly. There we go. And with our maxed out battle orders, we're sitting at over 3k HP. There we go. You don't need more. Which means that the rest of our points can go into strength. That's 291 extra damage modifier. 291% extra damage. This is why we don't need things like fortitude. Why it doesn't impact us that much. Because we've got things like strength stacked up to infinity. So vitality up until 3k HP with battle orders. Enough dex, so we've got over 10k frenzy attack rating. And the rest into strength. Energy is obviously a whatever, we don't care about that. So, that's our merc, our stats, and our gear. And last but not least, our skills. This is very cookie cutter. We don't do anything special here. So basically, you got your 1 point wonders. We want to get a point in Berserk at least. So you get 1 point into Berserk, then you max out. You've got your maxed out Frenzy. You've got your maxed out Double Swing Synergy. All right. You've got your 1 point wonders here with your stamina, speed, skin, and resistances. Max out your Blade Mastery, and then 1 point wonder here into Battle Command. You max out Battle Orders. And then you've got your find item as well. Now you will notice I haven't got more points into find item. You don't need more points into find item. At this level, when I do my swap to my dual spirit, I've got. If you went for 2 Hotos, let's put it this way. I've got 2 spirits up right now, and this is 47%. Okay, with 2 spirits, 40%. It's almost a 50% chance on a Hawk to get an extra item. If you had 2 Hotos, that would be a 49%. You understand? You don't need more. This is enough. And then the rest of your points into Berserk. Berserk does add a little bit of extra damage to your Frenzy, so it's cute. It's not massive. Mine's level 9, so it's 9 extra % damage on magic damage added on. But it doesn't really matter. But if you're using If you need to berserk something, you're using berserk. If you need to hit with a magic attack, if you want to kill a special unique monster, there you go. There's your berserk. The rest is just frenzy, and that's it. That's your skills. Right. So just a little tip and a few little tricks. You'll note that I've got 2 spirits, and I would advise you put your spirits in different weapon types. So you can see here, it's dual grief. It's very visually visible. I can see that I've got my phase blades out here. And if I switch to spirit, it's very visual as well. 2 massive long swords. You want that because it'll help you if you're having to, switch between hawking or not. So you kill your mobs, you chop them up, you switch to your spirits. You can do your shouts, switch back to your find item, and then switch back with your W back to your grief and your Lawbringer. That's if you don't notice the aura and all that. I do that. I sometimes mess it up. If I have 2 phase blades, I just look at the phase blades and like, oh crap, I'm attacking with dual spirit instead. Right. So let's pilot this. Let's go and do some Wilson Keep, shall we? Right. So we do our shouts with our spirits. There we go. Switch to that. There we go. Now I'm at over 3k HP, and the merc is at 4.8. 4.8k HP, 11k defense. This guy's not dying. This guy, he just needs to keep up with us. That's all. Right. So let's get going. Oh, souls. This is nice. So I don't even have my fade proc yet. Come on, hit me. No? No. Okay. All right. Here's a might or a pack. Let's see. You see my HP, by the way? Nothing's happening to me. I'm just shrugging it off. Do a few hawks there on the specials. Now I've got a loot filter on. They've given us loot filters, so happy days. Basically, there we go. See? Look at that. Look at that. You're just blitzing the mobs. Now this is on players 3. I would advise playing on players 3. You can do higher, but it's not as fast. And you are, at the end of the day, a melee character. So you're not going to be killing as fast as, say, a holy a Hamadin or a like definitely not as fast as a Novasork. So what we want to do is we want to go for players 3 so you can blitz through mobs as quickly as possible. It is okay to go players 5 maybe, but your no drop chance on players 3 is about 38%. So that means it's 38% chance that a mob will not drop an item. Okay? If you were playing on players 1, it's 68%. So you can see the difference is pretty massive. You want players 3, and this excels at players 3. Now I'm just going to stand here and come on, shoot me. Look, I'm just standing still here and letting this. Come on, shoot me, shoot me. Now you can see these things are hitting me. And there, my life is all back up again. You see? That's how it is, guys. That's how it is, boys. No problem whatsoever. And you kill really fast, and you can get some hawks in, so you get some extra chances for loot from your elite unique monsters, from your champion packs. Yeah, shoot me, shoot me. These are souls, boys. These are souls. Nothing is happening to me. So like I said, 3k HP, you don't need more than 3k HP. Put the rest of your points into strength, boys. Alright, that's it. Enjoy, guys. Have fun.